All right. We are moving into Antigone, right, which is a piece of ancient Greek drama. So I thought thought you'd benefit from a little bit of background information on both drama, Greek drama, and then as Antigone is the third in a trilogy, right, give you some background on the story that's been developing up to that point there, where we pick it up in Antigone. So uh, drama is like, television, radio, right? But just on paper. So you don't have any access to the internal. Like, in a novel, the narrator might indicate what a character is thinking, or, like the motivation of, like why someone is doing something. In a play, you don't have that. You have actions acted out, and then you have dialogue being spoken. And that's all we have. All right. So, for example, the text wouldn't outright say Tito was apprehensive. Okay. We would only be able to infer that from what Tito said and did in the play. Right. Now, as far as Greek drama goes, okay, that originated in Athens, right, as part of a religious celebration for Dionysus, who was the god of, fertility and wine and all around good times. Okay, the chorus, as in modern religious celebration and service, the chorus would sing and chant and such, and through interactions with the chorus, stories organically developed, and then that's where we get drama from. Right. So, a couple of key concepts with which you should be familiar. Tragedy, right, is something, it's a technical term, right, in this case, and it's a specific genre of drama that requires the downfall of a dignified, superior character, right? A tragic hero is what that person is called. Okay. So know that, and also dramatic irony. And this takes place when the audience is aware of something that the characters or a character in the play is not aware of. Okay. So both of those things will come into play in Antigone. Now, as you read Antigone, right, we're obviously going to look for archetypes, right? We're going to look for motifs and themes. And we really do need to treat, because Antigone, unlike a lot of other plays, we have explicit odes or poems, throughout, right, that we need to treat as poetry. So everything that we've done up until this point is going to come into play when we look at Antigone. All right. So as far as uh, the story leading up to Antigone, right, the play, not the character, right, the play. Um, it is a trilogy, right? Typically called the Theban plays by Sophocles. Theban because it takes place in Thebes. The plays do. All right. So the first story is called Oedipus Rex or Oedipus the King. All right, and it begins with King Laius and Jocasta, his wife, having a baby. Right, and they named the baby Oedipus. Right, which means swollen foot. Right. And an oracle says that your son will kill his father and marry his mother. Right? Naturally alarmed, the king and queen gave their child away, gave their son away to a shepherd to be killed. But the shepherd actually takes pity on Oedipus and doesn't kill him, but rather gives him to the king and queen of Corinth. Right? And that might be familiar to you because, of course, that's the same Corinth as in the Bible, right? The Corinthians. Paul wrote letters to them, to the church there. So Oedipus grew up happy, right, with this new Corinthian family. And eventually, though, he found out he was adopted. Okay. He went to the oracle of Delphi and discovered his destiny, right? Killing the dad and murdering the mom, or marrying the mom, excuse me, murdering the dad, marrying the mom. So he left Corinth to protect that family, right? And on the road, he comes across Laius, who is, disagreeable to say the least, and he kills him, right? And then he eventually, like he continues to travel, he arrives at the gate of Thebes, and there's a Sphinx there who has, put Thebes kind of on lockdown, right? And he won't, the Sphinx won't let anyone enter without correctly answering a riddle, you know, and Um, it's it's what has two legs or four legs in the morning, two legs in the afternoon, and three legs in the evening, right? And it's a person. The infants crawl right in the morning, right? Young people crawl, and then when adults, they walk on two legs. But as one gets older, they use a cane, so that's a third leg. Okay, so Oedipus answers the riddle correctly, and as a reward, right, for banishing the monster that was killing travelers, because if you didn't answer the Sphinx's riddle correctly, he killed you on the spot. Um, so he is made king of Thebes, and of course, he just killed his dad, the king of Thebes, right? So he marries the queen of Thebes, which is his mother. Right? So he's kind of realized now his destiny, but he doesn't know it yet. So there's a plague, and Oedipus sends Creon, his brother-in-law, to the oracle, and the oracle tells him, he's like, a plague is linked to King Laius's murder, right? And the murderer must pay. And a blind prophet, right, who we see in Antigone, indicates that the that you, Oedipus, you killed your dad and married your mom. Okay, Jocasta, Oedipus's mom and wife, then hangs herself after realizing like the truth for herself. She realizes that Oedipus is her son and husband, and she doesn't. She's had children by Oedipus, and so understandably, she doesn't take it well, and she kills herself. She hangs herself. Um, Oedipus then finds his wife hanged and gouges his own eyes out, and he exiles himself. Right. So then Creon becomes king for a bit. Ismene, one of Oedipus's daughters, stays behind with Creon, and Antigone, Oedipus's other daughter, goes with Oedipus into exile. Now, Oedipus has two sons, right, Eteocles and Polynices, and these guys have to figure out who will actually inherit the throne properly. What they decide to do is take turns. Okay? Eteocles goes first. Understandably, though, when his turn is up, he doesn't want to give up the throne. Right? And Polynices is having none of that. So he rallies support, right? Raises an army and challenges his brother, now the king of Thebes. But in so doing, challenges Thebes, and that makes him a traitor. All right, so that's an act of treason. Okay, and that's pretty much where that first story ends. And then the second story, Oedipus at Colonus, right? We see Oedipus and Antigone arriving at Colonus, which is a place, right? And they win over the people there, right, as well as its king Theseus. And then Ismene arrives with news of the brothers fighting, right? Creon arrives to bring back Oedipus, and he actually takes his daughters hostage to that end to get Oedipus to come back. Right? There's a fight. Creon loses, and then the daughters are returned. Polynices arrives asking his father for his blessing because the oracle told him, an oracle told Polynices that if he got Oedipus's blessing, then he would be king. But Oedipus refuses to actually bless either son. He doesn't want to get involved in that. So both sons fight, both sons die in battle. One as king, Eteocles, right? And then Polynices is a traitor. Then Creon, right, the brother-in-law, becomes king again, and Oedipus, dies, vanishes, right? He's gone. Okay, and that's where we pick up the story of Antigone, with Creon king and Eteocles dead, having received a proper burial, and then Polynices, right? His burial, because he's a traitor, that's what's in dispute. That's the conflict that drives the play, and we'll see that, right? Now, characters, right? We have Antigone and Ismene, okay, the sisters, and they're sisters, and they're both daughters, obviously, of Oedipus. We have Creon and his son Haman, and his wife, Creon's wife, Eurydice, and then we've got the blinded prophet, Tiresias, and then we have a sentry and a messenger, right? And then we have the chorus, and also a character called the choragus, which is the leader of the chorus. Okay. Um, so there we are. We will engage this play in class. Again, kind of utilizing everything that we've learned thus far in the year, as far as looking at both prose and poetry. And when we come across new things, right, I want you to expect to practice those things as a writer. Okay. It is my intent that through engaging Antigone, we sharpen our skills both as readers and writers. So there we are, and there we go.